and entice some people to come down and operate with us, if nothing else. You know, that's what ham radio is about. It's not about going and fighting at club meetings or, you know, complaining about the food at the luncheon. Come down and play ham radio.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Carl. I don't know if you remember me.
No, I don't.
Jim, KD7TU, used to live in Lincoln City. I used to talk on 220 all the time.
On what?
220 on your repeater.
Really? 220.
That's actually Ed. Ed,
Oh, you're Ed. I thought you
W7LY.
were W7LY.
Nope, LY, Lima Yankee. Close.
W7 Lima Yankee.
Yeah, you're Carl.
Ed.
So with that, we're going to pass it to KD7.
Well, who's Carl? Is he your buddy?
Carl? I don't know any Carl. My buddy that used to be down here was
Gene.
Gene.
Yeah.
W7YCK.
Well, there's a W7LI. Oh, it's LY. You say LI.
LY.
Yeah, this is LI.
Lima Yankee.
Stinking phonetics will get you every time. Well, we were down here, like I was telling them I was checking into the Jefferson Noon Net. I like to check in with them because they give a weather report, and you know, you get to say more than, hey, I'm here. Checked in with them today, and I brought down the old Yaesu because it's just been collecting dust at my house, for one, and for two, we're going to have the 80-year anniversary of the local club that sponsors this, and the whole 9 yards. And I thought, well, we'll get down here and start operating some old equipment, and then maybe we'll go from there. Of course, the ICOM's not very new. I think that's early mid 1980s.
It's a nice icon.
Oh yeah. The only problem we've got with it is the display lights out, and that radio there is only about 6 months younger than me.
That was kind of a most popular radio, the FT101, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah, I remember that all the time.
There are millions of those.
Those have 6146s, right?
No, they don't. As a matter of fact, it's got sweep tubes. 6
okay.
KD6s, I think.
All right.
And that's one of the few downfalls to that radio. Kenwood's had the 6146s, like the 520, 820, 830. But the Yaesu, you can adapt a 6146, but there's some internal modifications you have to make in order to make it work. I haven't done that. As a matter of fact, this has got the original tubes in it still and puts out well over 100 watts. So I like it. I have a lot of fun with it, even though it still drifts just a little bit. And I don't think it's even an electronic thing. I think it's the dial when it sits. The spinner knob is heavy enough, and the movement is so smooth that sometimes the dial will just slowly but surely just kind of drop down.
I remember it used to be just everybody had a FT101 at one time. This is back in the 80s.
Yeah.
That was such a popular radio.
Yeah, I think they came out in 1972 with the FT101B.
Yeah.
And actually, I think there was an FT101 which didn't have a processor, and then the FT101, and then the FT101B was something else. I can't remember what exactly it was. Then they came out with the E, which had the processor. And a lot of the ones that you'll see out there, and I took it off of mine, they have that stupid plastic on the front. And that's why it looks so nice, because whoever it did apparently liked their plastic. I didn't like it, so I took an X-Acto knife and cut it off. It was real thick. I mean, the whole front of the radio shined, but then it would bubble out, and I didn't like it, so I got rid of it. Been looking for a desk mic for this thing forever. A desk mic that's an exact match to this radio is about $120 used. So I haven't bought one yet, obviously.
Could I get you to do me a favor?
Yes.
Picture me sitting at the...
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
All that you have to do...
It's more than press the button, though, right?
Yeah, you just... what you do... You see this button? You press it down.
Halfway and let it...
Until it stops blinking. Don't worry about the hands.
So what stops blinking?
The green light.
Oh, okay. Okay.
When the green light stops blinking, then you push all the way down.
Okay. It's similar to mine. Mine does a little double beep when it's ready.
And I'm not in very good shape today, but what the hell?
Oh, that's okay.
Is it okay if I take the key out?
Oh,
of it?
absolutely.
Does that, is there, well, if I move it, will it do anything?
If you want, no, it won't hurt anything, but you can make some noise.
Okay.
All right, let's get another one for good measure.
Okay.
All right.
My call.
Quick too.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten any use out of that in a while. So maybe if you plan on hanging around, maybe you come down here and operate CW more often.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Brandon.
Hey,
Appreciate
no,
that.
thank you, Jen. It's good to see you.
Well, I
down
mean,
here.
this is, I want to see the whole ship, but I mean,
Yeah, oh, I really enjoy it. I was just telling Ed just this morning I came down here early because I decided to volunteer with the museum as well.
yeah.
For the last 30 years, it'll be 30 years May of next year, right? I believe. Yeah, 30 years May of next year. The ham radio clubs had pretty much exclusive access to this radio room.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've been coming down here for about 3 years now myself, and I've been hearing the story of, you know, oh, those radio guys. And, you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but then I thought, well, you know, maybe make it more all-inclusive. You know, if the radio room is part of the museum and the museum is part of the radio room and so on, we could kind of have a little...
Well, this looks like a radio room of a ship.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's cool about it. I mean,
Yeah, and all this equipment over here is actually original, except for the ASU hat, of course. But,
Having been close with the museum kind of forgets that we're down here.
yeah, until something negative happens.
Yeah. And then
And then they remember, and they're like, well, what have they done
then
for
it's
us
the radio
lately?
room.
Yeah, what have they done for us lately? So, so if we do it a little different, maybe we can, you know.
when you gonna be down here on the air next time?
Tuesdays. I come down on Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays.
Yeah,
Okay.
every Tuesday. I try to get down. The Jefferson Noon Net starts at 12, so I try to get in by 12:15 at the latest, so I get my name in the round robin there, and I just give them a weather report and, you know, tell them how things are, who's on the boat with me. Sometimes there's 4 or 5 of us. Oh, see, made good connection again. Something's intermittent.
What band you on, 40?
Yeah, I'm on 40 right now.
By the way, you know, I tried to get a hold of you once. On my VHF, I went out to the airport, and I could scan and got the frequencies at the tower, the VOR, if you want those.
Okay.
It's 114.00 for the VOR, and it gives an identifier. Did Astoria.
There you go.
And the tower, it's not a tower, it's called a Unicom, 122.8.
Okay. Oh yeah,
You
because
can hear
we
the-
don't have a tower here. Yeah.
You can hear the helicopters once in a while. They'll say,
Do you have a wideband receiver as far as, because the main Coast Guard UHF frequency that the helicopters use is 345.0 AM, and you'll hear a lot of interesting stuff on that. As a matter of fact,
yeah, I do have, I can get a 345.
345.0 UHF, and it's on AM.
Okay, that's the helicopters or the ships?
That's the helicopters.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Air Station Astoria, and you'll hear, like on marine channels, of course, you'll hear, you know, tidbits. But then whenever the helicopter's underway, whenever they're talking to their control station or whatever it is, they're always on uniform. They call it uniform, and
Okay.
it's 345.0 here locally. And
I better
that's where
write
you'll
that-
hear the
I better write
interesting
that down.
information. You know, that's where the guys, the rescue swimmers are doing their hoists and saying, okay, I got, you know, so-and-so in PIW, I think they call it, person in the water. And
Yeah, they just use the Unicom when they're
just to let other aviators
when they're
know, right?
practicing over there.
Yeah, and let other aviators know where they are and what their intentions are and
right.
so on.
345.0.
There is another one, but I cannot remember what it is, and it's also a UHF frequency.
Okay. Well, that's good enough to start with.
Yeah, that's a fun one. It's not real active, of course, unless there's a rescue operation or something like that. But winter's coming, so it'll get busy.
You know, I was listening to the pilot. I don't know if it was a pilot, co-pilot operator. God, it sounds like a teenager.
Probably is.
Yeah.
Probably 19.
Picture the clock. I love that clock there. It's...
Yeah, which one? I like them both. I like the big one more, actually. The other one's, of course, much more...
Which one you're talking about is
and you notice another thing? They're both made in the USA. One you actually have to wind up. I'd wind it up today, but I dropped the key behind the desk last time I was here winding it up, so... and that's a post-World War II ship's radio room clock. That came off of the USS Sacramento, which was a supply ship. The Chelsea clock, the one on the left that's got the wind-up. That's an actual ship's radio room clock. Terry Wilson, W7BU, is the one that donated that down here. And he was a radio man on that boat when they were upgrading their equipment. No?
Not Terry, not Terry. You gave Terry Wilson's claws W7BU.
Oh, KB7SI, I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
He donated it to W7BU. There we go.
There we go.
But anyway, he was the radio man on that ship when they were doing a major upgrade, apparently. And the captain of the ship said, just throw it all overboard. And Terry just didn't.
Man.
He didn't have the heart to throw that clock overboard, so he found a place to put that in his bag, and now it's ours. And it's my understanding that was in the mid-1980s that they did that.
Is that on loan?
He says it's for the museum, but it's my understanding he's given it to us. He doesn't want like whenever they do if this ever goes to dry dock or anything, he wants it to come out. And Frank and I talked about it and said, you know, I don't want to be responsible for it when that happens, so we'll just give it back to Terry whenever that happens.
Yeah.
Okay, you hold on to this until we can put it back on the boat, and that way I think everything will work out all right. Because he was adamant. He said that, you know, that'll be one of the first things to disappear if this goes anywhere. You know, he said
Ship's clocks always have a
tendency to
have a
disappear,
way
huh?
to disappear if the ship's being decommissioned or something.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a nice piece to have, and the fact that it came off of an active duty ship, that really made it even more fun.
I already know.
Okay, come here. Don't go in there. Hey.
Why?
Because you're not supposed to.
When I get home, I'll have to look up what these are.
Those are beacon transmitters. They send out, da did it. And,
Oh, that's right. Just like a lighthouse.
yep,
Yeah.
and they home in on it.
Right.
And it was on, I think, 320 kilohertz. Of course, there's two of them because they had to have one online at all times. So if one went down for maintenance or just took a dump or what have you, they had to have it available and ready.
Humidity is 36%. The bar is 29.92. The winds are calm.
That was today. Oh, is it? I thought he said he was in Finland. Okay. Well, I was wrong. That's like off by a few hundred miles.
Yeah, they're neighbors.
Maybe he was a Finn that lived in Denmark.
Could be.
Because I'm positive he said something about Finland. Okay, cool.
16 or 17 bass yesterday. Of course, I turned a fluke, so I just catch and release them. But I hit the right spot at the right time. Went to that, of course, you know where it's at.
Well, cool. Anyway, I have to boogie out of here myself.
Well,
But,
get out of your way and go.
You go up the
no, actually, I told Frank
They were tight-lipped.
down here at the jewelry store, I was going to help him put some pictures on the internet, and then I got to go to Gordon's house where we're tearing that antenna down off his tower. Supposedly that's getting donated to the club, so maybe we'll have that at field day next year. We'll have more antennas than radios, but hey, nothing wrong with that.
Thanks, Brandon.
Hey, no, thank you, Jim. And like I said, I'm down here every Tuesday. Ed and Don are generally down here on Saturdays, at least one of them in the afternoon. And the rest of the week it's kind of hit or miss. But you know, if I'm down, I'm down on the Riverwalk and in downtown Astoria quite a bit.
We'll try to make it up next Tuesday.
You know, and if you get a hankering to come down here and operate, and I'm in the local area, I don't have a problem coming down and opening the door and playing myself.
Do you get on 20?
Oh yeah, we can get on all the bands.
Okay.
We've got, of course, the old manual tuner. We've got 2 slopers plus the big, huge Marconi antennas. So we're
That'd be
set up.
fun.
Yeah, we're set up pretty well. The Marconi works great from 40 meters on down, and the slopers, one of them, what is it, about a quarter wave on 40, and so it's an end-fed half wave on 20. It does pretty good, and we've got it set up so if you like the old-fashioned style, you can tune any of the antennas with the old-fashioned tuner, or if you don't want to do anything other than key the radio and start talking, we've got the automatic tuner up here. So that one's hooked to the Marconi full time. And then the slopers we run off of the manual tuner.
Just seen something else on it. I just love to take pictures of things.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm a photographer. I love the high voltage, danger high voltage.
And of course, that's the antenna switch right below it. Well, hello, Frank.
Hello there, Frank. Welcome back to Clatsop County. I know you've been gone.
Yeah, I was gone for a little while. Hi.
Hi.
This
Wow.
is Jim, KD7TU, Frank, KF7NPC.
Oh, hi,
Howdy.
Frank.
There's hams all around this place.
Hammy, it's
amazing.
pretty hammy here. Yeah.
Anyway,
What's up?
I was just about to hit the road. I was taking some video of all of us being goofy down
Oh,
here.
cool.
I was just about to hit the road and head over to Gordon's house and help with the tower festivities.
Oh, is that happening today?
That is this afternoon. Supposedly at 1, but I probably won't be there till 1:30. But
Where's he live?
you
He
know where
lives
the
out on
fairgrounds is?
Woluski Loop, doesn't
Yeah, if you know where the fairgrounds is, you go past the fairgrounds about a mile or two. It's on the left.
he? You take a left right after the fairgrounds, huh? I think that's Woluski
Yeah,
Loop.
yeah, it's not far past the.
Yeah.
It's on the same road that the fairgrounds are
Right.
on, and it's I guess about a mile or two past the fairgrounds.
Oh, well, maybe I should go out there then.
All the usual suspects will probably be there.
I imagine.
Well, is the what's the other ship over here?
The Cutter Alert.
Is that open too?
Generally on Sundays they give tours to the public.
Oh.
The rest of the week it's since you know those guys are basically stationed on the boat. There's probably people sleeping at all hours, and on Sundays I guess they expect them to go to church or something like that, so they kick them all off the boat and they give tours.
I forgot to mention something. You know what that sign means, don't you?
Yes, do not carry this on your back or something like that. Don't carry this, no? Huh. I looked it up because I couldn't figure it out.
Which one is that?
Do not hump.
This one?
Yeah, railroad yard. When they have big railroad yards, okay, what they do, he knows, see, they have like all kinds of tracks, okay, where they're making up different trains,
Right.
and they got switches.
Sidings, I think they're called.
Well, yeah, and they got switches. Okay, and they got what they call a hump, where the switch engine pushes the car over the hump.
Okay, and then they can roll down and
And
connect.
then there's brakes that squeeze in to slow it down just the
Right.
right speed.
Just
And
so they
then
don't smash
switches-
real hard.
Switches different. And that's what that means. Do not hump. Don't put it over the hump for some reason. I don't know.
I think it also has a maritime
It
meaning
does.
as well, though. I think that it has something to do with don't carry this on your back or something like that. You know,
I never heard that.
humping a load.
First time I ever.
And as a matter of fact, I think. No, it doesn't actually say, but it's Form 756 of the U.S. Navy. So.
Well, then it's just a Navy thing. Yep. Means something else. So.
But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And did you know that Astoria has its own steam locomotive? We've got one that we're refurbishing right now from the
big
ground
one?
up. It's a 442 steam Baldwin steam locomotive.
Oh.
And
Where's that at?
what is the? I think it's Port Way. It's just off of Port Way and the main drag right before you get to the roundabout. On the right-hand side, there's an old, I think it used to be a Texaco station, and it's a really industrial-looking area. It's real rundown.
You mean the roundabout where you just before you get on the
Onto the bridge.
the drawbridge?
Yeah, it's about half a mile before that on the right-hand side. It's in a Quonset hut, so you won't be able to recognize it. But there are some other rail implements down there. There's an old tender, an old passenger car. The locomotive doesn't look like much of a locomotive right now because it's literally frame-up restoration, but it is real nice. And
They're having a fundraiser barbecue
on the 5th or something like
10th,
that.
I think.
Oh, 10th. Okay.
I think Saturday.
I think
the
you're
10th.
right. Yeah, the 5th is Labor Day, so
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be doing it on Labor Day.
So they're eventually gonna have tours. I mean, are they gonna run it?
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan.
Great.
Yeah. And I went down there. Frank was the one that told me about it. I went down there the other day, and just lo and behold, they had the door open, and they were
Oh,
there
cool.
working on it. And I was down there. They said, "Oh, you came dressed. You didn't come dressed for the occasion." I said, "What do you mean?" Well,
Overalls.
Yeah, you need to come down here and get dirty. I mean, it's truly hands-on. I mean, they have these old, pre-World War I lathes that they're operating. Some of these parts they have to fabricate by hand because they don't exist. So, and oh man, the guy that is running the whole affair, John something, I can't remember his name. I mean, he's got more information in his pinky toe than I'll probably ever have as far as railroads and so on. I'm originally from Central California, and the town that I was born and raised in didn't even come into existence until the railroad came to town.
Don't miss the kitchen back
Modesto,
here.
California.
How far is that from Fresno?
It's about, not quite about 160 miles north. It's still on Highway 99 though, so good old Highway 99 runs all up and down the whole valley.
Been to the California Railroad Museum.
Oh yeah, I'm
Hey,
telling
right.
you. That was that big. John and I were talking about that huge cab forward they have down there. It's the only one of its kind in the whole world that's left.
Is that right?
There were only like 14 or 15 of them made in the first place,
Oh, I didn't know that.
and they were at the end of the steam era as well. So they ended up being scrapped out probably within 20 years of being manufactured. Which is too bad. I get the biggest kick out of steam engines.
You've seen 4449, I mean.
Yeah, that was it right there. I can hardly hear it. It's a big Faraday cage in here. It's all metal. Anyway, I got a boogie. I
Better
don't know
let you go.
I don't know if Frank or Ed plan on hanging out, but
What
both
the heck
these
is
guys-
this here?
that's an old teletype. I don't know which model that is, but I can tell you it's definitely an old teletype. And they actually did do our TTY down here for a bit.
For a bit, yeah.
And I can only imagine what it was like to haul that